family, how you guys doing? Welcome to Phie.Love Intuitive Conversations. I hope you guys are good. Yeah. If you like my content, please do like, share, and subscribe. And if there's any negativity, if there's any hate, please do keep that on your side of the street, okay? It won't be acknowledged. So, family, in this video, I'm being guided by Spirit to talk about being in cycles of toxic love affairs and attachments and breaking those cycles, right? Now, this is an extremely broad and extensive topic. So today we're going to just take it, I'm going to sort of focus it and take it from the perspective of, okay, so in order to break a cycle, right, you need to first become aware, okay? You need to first become aware that you're in something toxic. You need to first become aware that you're in a cycle. You need to become aware that you've become bound, that you're bound to stagnant energy. Become aware that you've now, once you're stuck in a toxic cycle with somebody, in a toxic attachment, a cycle of attachment with somebody, you're also blocking the energy. You're blocking the flow of energy. You're blocking your own blessings, because now you're no longer evolving. Now things aren't changing. Now all the energy and all the focus is going into, it's being contained in a cycle with somebody. You have energetic cords that are thickening. You have spiritual cords that are thickening, right? So breaking these cycles, recognizing the cycle comes first. Well, you can only do that once you gain awareness, understanding, and perspective, right? Now, there are two ways, two perspectives that kind of work at the same time when it comes to dealing with this love affair, toxic love affair cycle, or toxic attachment cycle that many people find themselves in, generally in the lower aspected parts of their lives, right? Before awakening, before you move into the place of self-awareness, when you're still very caught up on the physical and mental and emotional aspects of things, right? So to start, if you recognize, or if you maybe are in a cycle with somebody, sexually or emotionally or whatever, however you might be intertwined with somebody, and it's, when you look at it and you're honest with yourself, you conclude, okay, maybe this is toxic. Okay, this isn't right. This isn't a good relationship. This isn't right for me. This is hurting me. This is hurting people. I keep on going back to this. I'm in this cycle with this person, and I just don't seem to be breaking it. This has been going on for years. However it's manifesting in your life, okay, I've been unconscious about it. One moment I say I'm done with it, and then before I know it, I'm back at it again, right? Before I know it, I'm in hidden places with somebody. I'm doing things that I know are not right with this person, but I'm in the cycle. The energy cords are so, the energy cords and the spiritual cords are so intense that, and the habit has become just, something that I'm not actually putting the effort into. I don't want to say fight against, but to I'm not putting in the effort to bring change, to to deal with the truth of the situation, right? There could be all kinds of things. You could be in a cycle with someone who's non-committal, and you could be in a cycle with a married woman or a married man. You could be in an on and off cycle of a relationship with somebody. You could be in a cycle of a whole lot of chaos with somebody that you're intertwined with and have a very strong attachment to, right? It manifests in the physical realm differently for everybody, right? The point is, to get to the point of awareness, you need to have some sort of understanding and recognize that, you know, beyond just the physical aspect, the mental and emotional aspect to things, there's also a spiritual aspect to things, right? And nothing in our lives is very small, very small portions of our lives are actually chance, okay? We come into this lifetime with a life plan, and in the same breath, while there's a life plan, we also have on a different layer at the same time, we have energetic and spiritual cords with certain people as well as energies, right, that we need to resolve, karma, imbalances that we need to recognize within ourselves and within our experience, right? You become self-aware and you recognize certain energy within you that you're always attracted to and being drawn to within other people and experiences, right? It's all very layered. So we already know that on the physical, on the physical side of things, when you're dealing with toxic relationships, toxic affairs, toxic attachments, and cycles of these things, it can be a mental thing, right? It could be a carnal thing. It could be an emotional thing that you've gotten into a habit with, right? And below all of that are issues of self-worth, right? Issues of self-worth, and below the issues of self-worth are also perhaps childhood issues, right? Neglect, parental neglect, the kinds of examples that you had from your parents that displayed love to you, right? What kind of example did you have from your parents of love? Was it something that you would say is healthy? Was it toxic? How was all of that? How are you replaying and recreating and negotiating what you do and don't accept in your adulthood now because of the examples you had or didn't have as a child? Did you have a father or a mother? A father who was a bit more of a Casanova, right? Who to his son, his example of engaging with women was more of a generous. He was more generous with himself than committed and focused. And maybe you were in a community and in a family setting that didn't outwardly express or highlight that as an issue that should be sort of looked into, or that might be contrary to how do I say? I don't want to. that might be contrary to what we would like to believe, okay, is a healthy family dynamic, a healthy relationship between a man and a woman, right? He was an example that was contrary a uh, to a committed man who brought consistency and stability within the examples, or however it was displayed as relationships, right, between him and your mother, or him and other women. However it is for everybody, it'll be a little different. It's for you to go in and question within yourself what the examples you had, what kind of examples you had or lack thereof, have affected the way you actually, engage relationships and attach and perceive love, right? Other people out there don't know the difference between love and sex, right? Many people out there can be dumbfounded and think that, if they're having sex with you, they love you. To some, it might sound a little like, basic and stupid, but it's more common than what we would like to think. Many people out there haven't had good examples of parents who love each other and are affectionate and bring, commitment and stability as a consistent example to their children. The programming just didn't always completely allow for that, right? So don't be too surprised when you see that these things are generational issues. But this is what I'm saying is can exist below the self-worth issues, right? Maybe you didn't have love and affection from your father, or the kinds of acknowledgement that you needed, and affirmation, and whatever it is from your mother and your father, that as a woman now, you find yourself in toxic relationships with older married men, right? In cycles, always ending up with the man who's taken, always ending up with the man who's married, right? Always ending up with a man who has children. All of these things could stem from whatever it was that was going on in your childhood that you needed, that you lacked, or things that might have happened, or the examples that you were given, right? How do those things have you compromising yourself and not really being fully cognizant of what it is you deserve, and setting the bar very low for what you accept, receive, and situations you allow to play out in your life, right? Now, all of this is part of the physical, mental, and emotional aspect of developing your understanding as to why you might be in toxic cycles around love affairs and attachments with people, right? Now, we're going to move to the spiritual side of things, okay? So, on the spiritual side of things, we come into this realm and we live out our experience coming from a past life, past lives, right? Our soul and our spirit aspect come into this realm. We embody as a soul with a whole bunch of energy and experience and all kinds of things that are part of our consciousness and part of our consciousness and our soul, that we embody with and come into this realm to balance out, to live out whatever whatever energy and consciousness and whatever you bring in with you, right, on a soul level from your past lives, is what's going to also influence how certain experiences play out, how you interpret in the background unconsciously, right? Certain things um, in your experience, and also the kinds of people and the energy and spirit within other people that you find yourself drawn to and attached to, right? All of these things are happening at the same time, along with your programming from the system. Okay, so yes, coming into this realm is not child's play. It's not an easy thing. Okay, you may see a baby being born, but inside that baby there is a soul and a universe of life and experience that is existing in that child, that is going to unfold as they, you know, redo the life experience. You're going to die, and whatever you don't work out, depending on what level of vibration you just embody, you're going to go back into an embodiment experience to work those things out. Okay, so sometimes we follow, okay, sometimes we follow certain souls and energies, or they follow us into the next embodiment. And because of the soul tie and the energetic cord, this starts, how to say, throughout your lifetime, you magnetize towards one another, because it's set up that way. Okay, it's part of your life plan when you come in. It's a complex thing, guys. Okay, there's a lot to consider when it comes to the spiritual and soul aspect around our relationships that we have and experience within these realms, right? You've got soulmates, you've got lesson mates, you've got your karmic partners, there's a whole lot of stuff. And now there's towards, there's the ones who are to our benefit, and then there are also the ones we come back into this realm with, that we come back into this realm with, that we sort of attract to. You come towards to one another to work out the attachment and the issues on a soul level, on a spiritual and energetic level. And the system has a way of making sure that people are not able to comprehend that aspect and to go within and include that aspect within their physical experience and understanding of their experience, because the system knows, by keeping you shielded or keeping you blocked off from that understanding and that perspective and that aspect also playing a role and influencing your decisions, and how certain things are moving around and why certain things are happening, why certain people, sometimes you ask yourself, like, why how did I even attract a person like this into my life? You might have had a soul contract with the person. You might have energetic cords from a previous life, spiritual cords from a previous life, that with this person or the soul that you need to work out, and you both, incarnated now into this experience to work things to work things out, and to finally break the cord, learn the lesson, break the cycle that you might have created over lifetimes and other lifetimes. Because if you are not aware as well and awakened to these things in other lifetimes, you're just coming back to redo the lesson until you awaken to these things and evolve out of it eventually. Break the energetic cord, awaken to what the issue is, mature and grow out of what the issue is that keeps you in those cycles, right? And sometimes you embody as, you know, a man in this, and that person as a woman, and in the next lifetime maybe you before you embody, you agree, and you embody as, you know, them being a man and you being a woman, right? And hopefully you guys get to balance out and clear out that energy in that way, right? So there are a number of reasons as to why you might have intense connections and attachments and relationships with people that might be difficult to break off and move away from, because there are deeper spiritual and energetic issues to it. And if it's not a specific soul, right, that you have an agreement with, a contract with, or a soul tie with, which you develop through sex, which you develop through traumatic experiences that you go through together, or them doing something horrible to you, or you doing something horrible to them, or you within your toxic attachments and love cycles and whatever it is, you know, don't manage to break it off. Sometimes it's that. Other times it's a spirit and an energy that is within you, right? A vibration, an energy that you hold, that you come into this experience with, and you attract whatever that energy matches to in this realm, right? In this experience. And you need to now ascend out of it. You need to learn the lesson. You need to recognize that this is a spirit or an energy that I have within me. It could even be a spirit of lust or a spirit of envy, or whatever those energies are that we get attached to, right? Or that we hold on, and that we also we develop through our experiences with other people and don't work it out. We're so unaware of ourselves that we don't recognize those things within ourselves. So we carry them into the next lifetime, and they influence. We carry and hold these things within our energetic field, and within the soul memory, right, and the energetic memory, that it has to find a way to work itself out in the next lifetime. And you only do that by awakening to it. So sometimes it's the spirit within you, or a spirit within someone else that you're attracted to, or that you're bound to, right? And it might be a new person, it might not be somebody, it might be a new soul or a new spirit that you might not have engaged with in the past lifetime, but they have the energy and the spirit on them as well, that can act as a mirror, or that you can engage with to help you work certain things out, right? Reflection and spending time on your own is really important. Taking the time to get to know yourself and your energy is really important, because if you don't, you're gonna completely just live out lifetime after lifetime after lifetime on autopilot, staying bound to the same souls, same energies, same kinds of people, attracting the same energy and experiences, and thickening soul ties and energetic ties and whatever these things are, because you're not actually evolving out of them. You just keep on layering onto the experience and layering onto the soul tie, right? So beyond the mental health diagnosis and the so-called codependency things that they'll always talk about on the surface of what things look like and how people play things out within the physical realm between each other, understand there is also a spiritual aspect to things. Okay? Understand that your programming and your ideas of love and attachment and lack and all these things keep you away from actually dealing and evolving and clearing out and releasing the things that keep you coming back. That's what the system wants, is to capture you, to keep you coming back into the realm, keep you coming back into the third dimensional physical experience, because then the system controls your energy. The system controls your soul. The system controls your consciousness. The system controls your experience. The system keeps you in the cycle. Okay? So they make sure that you stay bound to people. They make sure that you thicken and develop new soul ties. They make sure that you amplify and you get more, deeper and wrapped into the programmings and things and the carnal things of lust and whatever it is, right? Those are the things that keep you bound to the third dimensional realm. Those are the things that keep you stuck in soul ties, keep you stuck in cycles with people, keep the energetic cords and soul cords and spiritual cords intact, right? So you need to develop understanding first before you embark on trying to break cycles, breaking cords, breaking relationships. Because if you don't take those decisions with understanding, and through the understanding develop your acceptance so that you consciously make the change for yourself, okay? Not out of pain, not out of anxiety, not out of anger, not out of trying to protect yourself, not out of disappointment because someone's not going to make you a priority, but they're keeping you as a placeholder. They're using you as their, pastime, as their escapism from whatever situations they are having in their own homes. Right? As I said, these things can manifest differently. Whatever the cycle is, whatever the reason is, on the surface, it is what it is. But you have to take the time with yourself to develop your own understanding for your own situation. Don't try to align with what you see on the outside. Investigate yourself. Ask yourself the questions why. Ask yourself, what is it actually that I'm attracted to in this situation? What is the reason for this cycle? Take the time to sit with Spirit. Ask Spirit to make it known to you. Ask Spirit to teach you how to look deeper within yourself, how to look beyond the surface, how to look beyond the emotions, how to face the things within yourself that you're afraid to face. It might be a barrier to you actually getting to the root as to why certain things are happening. Are you looking for a father within somebody? Are you in cycles with younger women and younger girls as a grown man? Because you don't want to face yourself or be with somebody who's going to challenge the aspects and require out of you something more, require out of you to take charge, require out of you to make decisions and lead in ways that maybe, someone like you should, feel good and confident in. But then confronting those things might also mean you need to confront your example of a father. Might need you to confront your lack of an example that you had within a father. Many things, right? Maybe the younger women just make it easier for you. You're in control. They don't require much out of you. They don't challenge you. They don't help you grow. you feel like you're the one who's in charge, because a woman who actually will challenge you, will require you to grow, will require you to, you know, I'm sure you get where I'm going with this, right? Added on to the spiritual aspect of it, then there's also negative karma. Sometimes you have karma to resolve with certain people and certain souls in your life, that you guys are spiritually bound. Okay, things might have happened. There could be reasons, even when, as a man, if you don't balance yourself out, and because of you being imbalanced, create pain and a miscarriage or whatever it is in a woman, you create a spiritual tie, you create karma, and that keeps you bound to that person until you work it out, until you make things right, until you balance out the energy, until you decide to face yourself, look at yourself, engage with spirit, and deal with the divine on how to balance those kinds of things out, because those can be really challenging. That kind of karma, when you start, when it's injuries, when it's when you inflict real issues on other people, create real imbalances within the energy between you and someone else, you create those cords, and again you bind yourself, and the system makes sure that their programming perpetuates these issues, keeps people deficient, keeps people reactive, keeps people aggravated, keeps people angry and defensive and attacking one another and judging and hurting one another. Because on a higher level, again, the system understands what it means spiritually. Okay? So it goes beyond the doctrines of your religious texts and all of these things. They don't, they don't want you to they want you to just rather follow theory and not actually the reality and the truth of your experience. And the more bogged down and focused you are on all the other stuff, the less room and space and energy you have to actually accommodate for these things that are part of the broader perspective of reality that I'm always talking about, that need to be included and considered, and part of your questioning, growth, and investigation process when you're evolving and trying to, move things out of your life for good, cleanse yourself and your energy, balance things out, recognize this is karma, recognize this is a soul tie, recognize this is an energy I need to evolve out of, recognize this is a spirit within me and a spirit within someone else, recognize there's a spirit and an energy that keeps on showing up in different vessels. This means that there's something within me that keeps on attracting the same spirit and the same energy in different vessels around me within my experience. What do I need to go within and change? Why do I keep on attracting this? Why do I keep on binding myself to this? Okay? So, please, this is a really big topic. I definitely will touch on it again in the future, because there's a lot I didn't cover. But I think for now, it's enough to just consider, do a little bit more research, expand and enlighten yourself on something different. Look up and research something different. Look into spiritual ties, okay? Look into reincarnation. Look into past lives. Look into energetic cords. Look into cord severing, different things you can do to sever cords with people. Go within. Ask yourself, why am I in these situations? What are these situations in my life a reflection of? To show me, myself. What is this thing in my life a reflection of to me? Of me? How am I saying this? Is it right? What is that reflection of? Where is the reflection of me in the situation that I'm in? Okay, that's what I wanted to say. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna stop there, and I'm gonna pull a card from the Ascendant Masters deck, okay, from by Doreen Virtue, and see what Spirit has to support our conversation, or to give whoever's watching our video a nudge in a specific direction, okay? Let's see. Oop, that fell out quickly. Health and healing. Okay. The more you work on breaking these cycles and clearing your energy and awakening to these different things that are happening and true at the same time in your experience and in your reality, beyond what you just experienced on a physical, mental, and emotional level, okay, you start moving into an energy of health and healing. You renew and you move away and evolve out of the old energy, out of the old experiences, out of the old cords, out of the old spiritual ties. Okay, let's see what the book has to say for health and healing. Got it. Oh, and the Ascendant Master is Hilarion. Okay. The book says, this card is a sign of healing. Your divine healing power has awakened and you feel compelled to help others to heal. Just as you've been healed, so too do you want others to enjoy health and vitality. You're supported in making life changes so that you can continue to heal yourself and others. It's healing. Let go of any fears or restrictive thinking to fully open the miracles of healing. Additional meanings for this card. An illness or injury is healed or healing. You are a healer. It is a good and safe time for you to change to healing career. Study healing modalities. Also, you'll find that as you start moving and clearing these things out of your life, there are certain ailments and things that also just disappear. Certain imbalances in your experience, in your perspective, in your reasoning, in your energy and your body that just go away. They're no longer there. You have more energy. You are able to call your energy back, right? Your